Welcome to episode 131 of the Loane Hockey Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about some standouts in last night's matchup between Utah and Vegas. And so in that game, it was a really good game, and Vegas ended up taking it 4-2 in Utah. And so there's some really big standouts in terms of their top players, as always. And William Karlsson looked really good in terms of his ability to create offense, his ability to score, his ability to be active around the net. And two goals, one assist, 3 points, four shots. And he was rolling all throughout the game. He looked really good as a passer, he looked really good as a playmaker, and just looked really good at creating offense in general. And that's the William Karlsson that we've seen for some time in Vegas now and has really blossomed as both a passer and as a goal scorer. So he was really good. Jack Eichel looked really good. He's been really hot to start this season. Has been producing on a consistent basis and has been very productive inside the offensive zone. And I believe he's up to 27 points now, two assists yesterday. He looked really good, being able to generate off the rush, using his speed to be able to not only create rushes, but be able to maneuver around defenders inside the zone offensively. And he stood out in that sense. Tomas Hertl looked really good. He had two goals and was playing really well, was checking really well, was creating offense really well. He was really active around the net. He was really active at being able to create high ice for his teammates and being able to create passing lanes in those scenarios. And so with Hurdle, he's been a guy that's been a seamless fit ever since joining Vegas, and he's been a really good fit for this team thus far as well. And then Caden Korzak looked really good. He had a really good game, had an assist in this game, and he looks steady as a two-way blue liner who can transition the puck and also play a little bit of offense in there as well. And a guy who's not necessarily super flashy offensively, but very reliable defensively, very reliable as a two-way defenseman, and a guy that can shut plays down very effectively. And he's very active in that sense as well. And Nick Waugh looked really good. He always creates with his speed, and he's always a guy who you notice with his speed all the time. And he just plays very much with that tempo, with that rhythm, with that structure in his game, game in, game out. And so he's always a guy to watch because of that. And he's always a guy to watch on the forecheck because he can close gaps instantly. He's got really good straight line speed, really good straight line mobility, and a guy who can kill plays almost instantly as a defensive player with his speed as well. And very reliable on the PK for them. Logan Cooley on Utah's side looked really good in this game. He's had a really good season thus far, on pace for around 60 points, and he had a goal and he looked really good positionally. I thought his off-puck instincts were really good. He's moving really well. He's finding space really well. He's moving into space laterally really well and being able to open up seams in that sense. And so with Cooley, he's a guy that stands out in a little bit of everything. He can be a two-way guy. He can be a skill guy. He can be somewhat of a power guy from time to time where he can really drive the net and use his speed to be able to weaponize that. And so with Cooley, he had a really good game and he's on pace to continue to get better throughout the course of the season. Dylan Gunther looked really good as well. He had an assist and was he's always been standing out to me this season. I've noticed him game in, game out, and by far one of their most consistent players on the team thus far, just in his ability to create goals and his ability to create from interior space inside the offensive zone. And of course, his speed is another asset as well, but his ability to get interior inside the zone and be able to leverage that has been a huge component to his ability to create offense this season and why he's having a breakout season thus far. And really looks like he could be a staple on this Utah team for a very long time. Clayton Keller, of course, we could talk about Keller all day. Him and Kerfoot had similar games, I would say. I would say Kerfoot's a little bit more raw version of Keller in some ways, where Kerfoot has the distinct ability to be able to create in many different ways, maneuver around guys, be able to create offense in many different ways, and be able to have the puck on a string almost on occasion. Similar to Keller, he shows that ability game in, game out to be able to do that, be able to execute on that. And Keller's a guy that stands out all across the board and can provide a little bit of everything for this Utah team. And Mikhail Sergachev looked really good in this game as well. Two-way defenseman, transitionally looked really good. He looked really good at activating in the rush, being able to activate and being able to be a threat as a defenseman in those scenarios. And so with Sergachev, he's a guy that's been a really key player for them on the blue line thus far this season. A guy who's been heavily relied upon to be able to create offense and also be able to be in shutdown situations as well. So there are a lot of good standouts all across the board in this game.